Story. A man suspected of following and assaulting a teen after she exited a TRIMET bus has been arrested. A 17-year-old victim told police 23-year-old Rodolfo Claudio Marquez began bothering her on the number 67 bus toward Rock Creek, followed her home after she got off the bus at 7 o'clock. Then he allegedly propositioned her at her Southwest 173rd Avenue home, and when she refused, he reportedly manhandled her and punched her in the face. Well, the victim's dad alerted authorities, and he was arrested a short time after
How old
that.
is this, the girl?
She's 17, and he's 23. Good. Peeps on buses. That's the 67 bus over on the west side.
Well, and I was taking what was the max that I was taking a while back? It was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I had to take just a short little jaunt there, and I think it's probably good. Everybody ought to be forced to take the max about every 30 or 45 or 60 days, just so you can sort of, keep in touch with all the different layers of your community. It's kind of like it's one of the facets that makes, it's one of the threads in our cultural tapestry. And you sometimes forget that level of humanity exists. So it's a sort of a forced exposure thing, so you can be aware of all the people in your neighborhood.
Oh, how about the trolley? That's becoming the second worst people mover.
You mean the one that goes through, you talking about the one through downtown?
The one it's faster to walk than to take. It goes like a half mile an hour.
It's the free one, right?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to look kind of like a San Francisco trolley, but it doesn't really move. Is that the one we're talking about?
It has people eating the worst food. Somebody opened this bag of chips that smell like cow manure, and they're sitting there eating them, and everyone's grossed out holding their noses, and they continue to get to the bottom of the bag, and they still weren't done by the time I got off of my stop. And there are no windows that open on those things.
No, of course
So
not.
You're stuck with whatever odor is in the... It's like being encapsulated into this thing that's designed to kill you.
I think that's how they described it to the city planners when they asked for the budget. Look, we'd like a thing that is filled with a rank odor, and that is, in fact, on some level, lethal. How do you feel about such a proposal? Every time I'm on the TRIMET, there's always a guy eating cheese corn. It's always some guy.
People eating.
And to me, here's what I always get. It's like variations on the same guy, and they all look like that guy, Grossberger from Stir Crazy. I'm always on the TRIMET. There's a guy who'll be sitting there on the max, and it's like he's just come from Lloyd Center, and he's got like the big box of cheese corn, and it's that box from the, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of the cheese corn emporium or whatever that place is at Lloyd Center by the skating rink. It's not like I don't eat there, because I do. But there's always the guy who's gotten the box that is so big that they then, before he leaves the store, they have to put it inside a plastic bag. So it is a box of cheese corn inside a bag, like to catch the spillover, to catch the runoff. And he always sits directly across from me in the max, and he has the hand just going in like some sort of a construction device, scooping the cheese corn just into his cavernous maw. And then because he, waste not, want not, and a penny saved and all that, he then just begins the laborious and sort of excruciatingly detailed process of licking all of his fingers clean about every 5 or 6. But as you said, that's not even the worst part, because you can shut your eyes. But I'm here to tell you, friends, there's no shutting your nose.
No.
Unless I were to sort of jam corks up my nostrils, there's nothing you can do to get away from the scent of that guy's body odor mixed with whatever it is, that day-glow substance that they spray onto the cheese corn. And then, here's the other thing is, it doesn't matter what you're listening to or how loud the volume is on your iPod or whatever, there's always that one thing you don't want to hear, and that is the thing that is at the right frequency to slip into your oral cracks. So I always sit across from that guy, and no matter, it doesn't matter how loud I'm playing my, Slayer record, I always hear the guy going, it's like it's at just the right sound level that my brain can't shut it out. So I know you're.
And this time when I rode Amtrak to Seattle, because I'm always sitting next to the screaming kid, I brought these headphones with me that cancel out all noises now on Amtrak, so I can watch movies and keep these on for the entire trip on Amtrak.
Now, are they actually the Bose, the noise canceling style headphones?
But they pinch my head so much that I can't possibly hear anything.
So it's not really through technology so much as it is kind of a brute force on the outside of your head sort of thing.
It worked just fine for the entire 3 hours.
I always wonder, okay, you hear about those noise-canceling headphones a lot. Of course, if you work in radio or anything, like that, you become kind of a big headphone nerd. But I always wonder about those noise-canceling headphones and whether that's a scam or whether it actually works. Has anybody ever used those? Greg, yours aren't noise-canceling headphones, are they?
They're partially noise-canceling, yeah. They're powered by batteries. They block out a lot of stuff. Like, I can't hear myself snapping.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is that because of the thickness of, in other words, the actual design of the headphone, or is it because they'll show that diagram where they say, like, here comes a sound wave to disturb you, and it shows a sound wave coming from, like, a guy mowing the lawn, and then it has this crude sort of cartoon depiction of your headphones putting out the inverse sound wave, so it cancels out the noise, which just seems impossible. That seems like a thing that can't be real.
Yeah, I don't really know how these work. All I know is I turn them on.
Now, were those expensive? If I can ask, how much were those?
These are very expensive. I didn't have to pay for them, but they are like $350, $400, something like that.
See, and I wonder about that because the headphones I'm wearing now are like, I don't know, I think they were like 120, 140 something, which might sound extravagant. I mean, to just to the average person. But if you're working in radio, you wear headphones all the time, and so And I spent a lot of my youth buying $15 pairs of KUFO headphones that would last me like 6 weeks, and then they would snap. Especially because you were always working with a bunch of dirtbag idiot DJs that would rifle through your stuff when you weren't around.